In today's fast-paced world, finding new ways to work are absolutely crucial. What we did in the past doesn't work in today's 21st century digital world. We need to find new ways to do things, to switch ourselves on. Conscious thought is required. The old Industrial Revolution era that ran from 1760 to 1970 has gone forever. Our world today is shaped by its influence, not by old hierarchies, not by old technologies, but by new, immediate ways of working in the 21st century. We need to think very differently in order to move on into our new world of work. Our planet is changing at a rate of knots. Change now is coming faster than it ever has before. We need to discover what makes the world tick and respond to it appropriately. Yet we're creatures of habit, of routine. We leave home turning left or right each morning the same way, getting stuck in traffic and moaning about it. What we need to realize is we are indeed the traffic. It isn't good enough anymore. We simply need to put new styles of operation, of business, of strategy into place. We need to break the old habits. We need to start thinking about change coming faster than ever. The more things change today, the faster things change. And yet our brains, they don't respond to it terribly well. What we need to realize is a new set of rules applies today, and our brains need to be consciously awoken once again, firing up the neurons with some passion, with some belief. A new set of skills is required in the 21st century. The old knowledge that you have is outdated. We need to start thinking about decentralization. We need to start thinking about replacing bureaucracy with more adequate networks. The old hierarchies have got to go forever into new partnerships. It's a constant battle from our unconscious natural state, but our digital world now demands this from us. It's all about firing up our brains and doing things very differently. Because innovation is everywhere. It happens in weeks or days, not generations or centuries. The pace of it is accelerated beyond anything that we could normally take for granted. Right now, with these new styles of work, everything that we've ever taken for granted is totally different. What we've built in the past is no longer good enough. We don't need the old skyscrapers of yesteryear. We need to flatten it out into new networks, focusing on things like teamwork, building everything that we possibly can to respond at the pace of today's change. Why do we misunderstand this so badly? It's back to the brain, I'm afraid. The way that we're wired. We're used to complacency, to procrastination, to blame, to doubt, to lacking trust. And all of these things are crucial to overcome. It's almost a full body scan that we need to go through this fundamental change where we have to think, plan, and create very, very differently indeed. It's time to fire up our brains once again. It's time to start getting it right, making sure that we're engaged and empowered, looking at the world with an empathy, being aware of what's going on around us, noticing change for what it is rather than simply resisting it. We need to find ourselves new ways to work.